time.
First time. Okay, fantastic.
First time.
And then I know Doreen down here, lovely Doreen down here is my friend, and that this is her first time, but she's got lots of experience. And Andrea, are you the one who's volunteered with your friend Mary?
Yes, I am. It's my first time.
That's great. Okay, and then David, I think you volunteered with
Once
you and
before,
Norma.
yeah,
You and
once
Norma.
before, yeah.
Okay, and Kat. Oh, I missed Serena and I missed Kat. Sorry, Serena. I'm looking at the gallery view here.
Hi, this is Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hello.
Have you volunteered before?
No, first time.
Oh, yes, Kathleen Wong. Yes, okay, Kat. Okay, and Serena, how about you?
Excuse me. No, I haven't volunteered with Winterfolk before. Just attended.
Oh, fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna.
Joanne, I'm Edward. Do you hear me?
Oh, yes, I missed you.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's just too many faces here. Sorry about that. And your name is?
Edward.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. I didn't recognize you without your hat on.
Yeah.
Hi, Edward.
Hi,
Hello.
Edward. Hi, Edward. And
Hi,
thank you for
Edward.
bringing in and Edward, you brought in some other volunteers too, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah, but it's my first year. So
And thank you for bringing your friends
Yep.
along,
Yep.
along too. Okay, so Lindsay, I'm gonna put this now in your hands because Lindsay is controlling all the money and the door stuff. So she thought it'd be really great if you guys sort of learn from her what the process is. And I'm going to learn from her what the process is because I've been an MC before, but I haven't worked the door before.
Hi guys, I'm so
Hi.
happy to see you all. Oh my gosh, I'm like, my heart starts swelling when we talk about on-site music festivals, and I'm so happy that we're able to do this year. Finally, it's been 2 years without an in-person Winterfolk. So I just want to say I'm so happy that all of you are devoting your time to something so incredible, and we're gonna have so much fun because we get to volunteer and walk around and listen to live music. I don't have to sell you, you're here, and I'm really excited. So thank you so much on behalf of me and my dad and the whole Winterfolk team. So yeah, working the doors is pretty freaking simple. We're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna meet. Joanne has the volunteer schedule, so you know when you check in. I believe it's probably 12:30 on the Saturday and Sunday, Joanne, if you can confirm, or 12.
I'm asking people to check in like a half an hour before their shift.
Perfect.
Yeah, and you're checking in at the headquarters, which is at most 5 minutes from any of the locations.
Right, and
some of
that
them
is
it's only 1 minute. Yeah.
Wanda's Pie in the Sky, and that is 282 Augusta, which is the headquarters. So when you guys arrive, so say it's the start of one of the festival days on either the Saturday or the Sunday, I'll be there super duper early to meet you guys at headquarters, and I'm literally going to walk you to your door. So what you're going to have at your door is you're going to have a cash box with a float. You're going to have a certain amount of wristbands that are all accounted for and color coordinated, because there is a couple different colors for different types of wristbands depending on who you are. So we have like a color for media, a color for volunteers, and you'll get one. We have a color for artists, etc. So you'll get an allocated amount of wristbands in your box, and you'll have a sheet that kind of is a cheat code for all the different colors for wristbands. So it'll be pretty easy to organize that way. So we'll do that, and we'll grab some programs. So we have usually like a really nice 2-pager program, which has some great ads, information about the festival, and also the schedule for Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have that as well. And then we'll have a email sign-up sheet. So everybody always wants to be in the know about, you know, music festival updates and concerts and anything regarding the folk and blues music scene. So you'll all have a clipboard with an email sign-up sheet at your station too. So we will gather all of that up, and I'll walk you guys to your destination. I'll help you all set up. And then really it's as easy as that. So Joanne has been kind enough to organize time and shift changes. So what I'll be doing is I'll be kind of floating around, but my primary responsibility is to make sure that you always have programs, you always have wristbands, and I can answer any questions that you have. And sometimes if we're understaffed or whatever happens, you can't anticipate everything. Say you got to pee and there's no floater, like I can be that person to sit at the door and let you go pee or grab a snack or whatever. So I'm going to kind of be that floater as well over the weekend, but I'll make sure everybody has my cell phone number so you can call me anytime you want. If you got to pee or if you need more wristbands or whatever it is. But I'm definitely going to be accessible the whole weekend. And what I'm going to do is because we sold a bunch of tickets in advance 100%, but some people are not going to buy advance tickets, and they're going to, great question. I was literally about to say, we are going to be selling tickets at the door. So daily tickets are $20. And you'll have an entire sheet that details out pricing and whatnot, but you'll have enough float to be able to actually sell tickets at the door. And because of that reason, one of the primary responsibilities is that I'm going to be coming around every hour or two to make sure that the floats don't get too full, because we want to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe and there's not too much money building up at the door. So I'll be checking in with a buddy who I'll be assigned with. It might be one of you, it might be somebody else.
I think Robbie is going to be your buddy some of the time.
Yay! Hi,
Out there
Robbie.
with Jana, Robbie.
We're gonna be besties, Robbie.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll come around and we'll grab some cash and we'll bring you change if you need it, like any little small things like that. And what else?
I've got a question.
Sure.
Yeah, so people, if they want to buy wristbands, can only use cash?
Yes, we're only doing cash transactions. However, there's still always going to be the option to go on the Winterfolk website and buy it online. So that's a great option to be able to reference. So just tell them to go to winterfolk.com and, click on purchase wristband, and they can just buy it online. In that instance, and that's a really great question, if somebody approaches and they don't have cash, or perhaps they bought advance tickets, but they don't have their wristband, they can show you their receipt with their name. Just ask for their ID to verify that that's actually them as the human who's showing up at the door, and then you'll be able to give them the wristbands. But what's really important is, and I can remind everybody of this on site, is to just make sure you grab a copy of that receipt and you kind of just check it off and keep it in your till.
Oh, would you take a picture of it, or how would you?
I would just grab a copy of the hard copy, or if they don't have a hard copy, does everybody here have a smartphone? Actually, that's a good question. Yeah, so I think I'm literally going to anticipate that like 1% of people will arrive with advance tickets who don't already have their wristbands, because we're shipping wristbands out this entire time. So I anticipate only a very small amount of people will come without the physical wristband in hand that bought advance tickets. But in those cases, just take a copy of the receipt or grab a picture. I'm honestly really not super worried about it. If they show that they have a ticket and they show their ID, sometimes you just have to work on the honor system in that regard. But one thing to note is that all wristbands are going to be counted and they'll be accountable. So if there's any discrepancy, like we'll easily be able to check against somebody's name if they're in the system. So if you ever run into any issues, just let me know and I'll come help, because I'm going to be walking around and accessible across the whole 2 days. So that's not a problem. One other thing I wanted to mention is, and actually I can give everybody my number now if you want to just take it down, but I'll also give it to you when I see you guys on site. So it's actually, I'll just put it in the chat here. It's 416-278-3800. So I just popped it in the chat there for you guys. So you can definitely feel free to text me. And then, so what I'll say is, so obviously the last show ends at 10 o'clock. So it's fairly early. So you'll be responsible for manning the doors until 9:30. 9:30. So what's important is that you don't leave your post until I come get you, because we don't want to make sure that you're not walking around with money. We just want to make sure that you're as safe as possible and not schlepping the box without supervision or somebody to be with you. The buddy system is really important here. It's downtown Toronto, guys. So I'll come grab you probably between like 9:20 and 9:30 on the Saturday or the Sunday if you're working one of the later shifts. And what we'll do is we'll walk back over to headquarters together and we'll check you out, and you'll help me bring all the materials back to headquarters. One important thing to note is I don't believe in, and this is a new policy, but it's really not fair to charge somebody full price for a wristband towards the end of the night if they're just staying for the last set. So the rule of thumb is if they arrive at 8:30 or later, so that's an hour and a half before the end of the festival or the day if it's the Saturday, it'll be a $5 cover. And there's no wristband, it's just $5. Get the heck in there, enjoy the show for the last time.
As long as we're not over capacity or something.
Yeah. And what I'll do, guys, because this is a lot of information to digest. Yes, we have a meeting. I'll just make a quick bulleted list for everybody, and I'll have a hard copy, and we can just make sure that everybody has that, like sort of like an FAQ, so you have it at your post in case you have any additional questions or.
Oh, that'll be good
I-
for the people that don't come tonight too. There's some.
Yeah, and if you smoke pot like me, it's a lot to digest, so we should probably have.
I got another question.
Did I hear that correctly?
It was a cat. It was a cat behind Edward's head.
A black cat. Yeah. Some of the venues I saw, it said that they allow people to come in. I don't really understand this, but the people can get in if they want to go to the restaurant, but I don't understand. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So if it's a regular patron and they're just there for dinner and not the music festival, is that what you're asking? What to do in
Yeah.
those situations? Yeah. So that's something that I would have to just circle back with my father on because they're new venues this year, but let me look into it and I can get back to all of you and have an answer before the weekend.
I think that applies, Lindsay, to Trinity Commons and Taco front room.
Yeah, because that's where I
And
am. So that's
Yeah, and I
that's why
think,
I'm asking.
yeah, we did decide to put people at the door, even though you might, so if you're at one of those places, you might not be collecting money, you'd be more acting as a PR person. You know, because people are gonna say, hey, what's going on here? And you might have the opportunity to sell them a wristband so that they can go into the other venues. For example, yeah.
But at the same time, if they're coming in to eat dinner, we don't ask for a wristband.
No, we wouldn't do that. You would be more like a PR person, but you
Yeah,
could,
okay.
and maybe you could sell them one if they wanted one to go into other venues.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for
have
example,
a-
yeah.
I have a
Because-
question about who determines what capacity is or how that's,
Okay, let's just one quick note before we move on to that, because that's a great question too. I think there are going to be situations where somebody's going to want to sit down for dinner, but also they might also want to enjoy the festival, and that's a really good point, Joanne. So I'll circle back, but I think what might be helpful is to draft a script so that you guys know what to say in those situations, so we can make sure that we have you guys locked and loaded with that too.
It's
That'd
it's
be
a good
helpful.
idea. But I'm just thinking if somebody walks into Taco front room at the right time and they think they're having dinner and all of a sudden they hear Tony Springer in the back room, they may change their mind. Right, Carol? Right, Doreen? They might change their mind and go, oh, I want to see what's going on back there, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, no reflection to the person who's playing in Taco front room, or you just don't know, right? So you never want to miss an opportunity to be in front of people.
Mhm.
And, you know, and if you make it too
Okay.
difficult and tell them that they have to go buy a ticket somewhere else, then they might not do it. But if you have them there with you, Edward,
Yeah.
then they might, right?
Sell, sell, sell.
That's
So
what I'm all
going,
about. That's all I care about, David.
Going back
That's
to
not
the-
true.
Just circling back to the capacity question, because that's a good one. It wouldn't be up to the person working the Winterfolk door to determine capacity. That's up to the venue. So we can make sure that, so for instance, I don't know if like back in the day, we used to be at the Black Swan, and John and his brother would be very aware of clicks and making sure that they're managing capacity. That is not a Winterfolk problem, so you don't need to worry
Okay.
about that. We'll make sure somebody
Great.
else is responsible for managing capacity.
right.
Yeah, that'll be especially in places like free times where it's quite a small,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a small it's a small venue, yeah.
So does that answer your
Yeah.
question? Yeah, okay.
Who here is assigned to a door and who's a floater?
I'm a door.
I think I'm a floater, either a
I'm a
floater
door.
or another.
Think I'm
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
I'm a
may
door.
get, yeah, floaters and others are essentially the same thing. So if you are a floater, your job is going to be available to step in and help at the door that you're at. Oh, thanks, Serena. At the door that you're at, but maybe also another venue too. I just didn't have a spot or a way on the schedule to say you're floating from place to place. I just tried to make sure wherever I could that there was somebody that was fairly close that could take over at the door of any venue. Because if Doreen is there for, 3 hours, she's gonna have to take, a break at some point in time, right? Or 6 hours at some time after an hour, so she's gonna need to take a break, right, Doreen? When you need to take a break? I'm picking on Doreen. How about you, Carol? Will you have to take a break?
Oh, no, I'm a camel.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Well, we all need to take break. We all need to take breaks for different reasons, right?
That's
So,
right.
yeah, that's
We
why
have
we have
to,
to
we
take.
have to, we have to go out and have a smoke with Lindsay.
Yes, that's right. Fresh air and smoke.
Just let us know when break time is, Lindsay.
Well, the last artist finishes at 10, so.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
But going back to texting me with whatever you need. So again, like if you guys run out of newspapers and stuff, text me, whatever. But that's also one of the responsibilities of the floater. So let's lean on the floater. Let's lean on me. We're going to be popping around all the venues. So just like, let's just continue to be communicative with each other. And we'll make sure that we're all having a good time and everyone has what they need.
Yeah,
Sounds
and the
wonderful.
floater, I'll have the floaters' phone numbers. If
Great.
I hope that's okay with all you floaters, so that I can say, hey, can you pop, say you're at Free Times, I might say, hey, can you pop over to St. Stephen's? Who are we taking direction from? As if a float, we are needed to be where, do what, when. First of all, from the door you're attached to, like if you are at the Free Times, who's David, you're at Free Times, right?
Don't
Who's
know.
at Free Times? I think David, you're at Free Times and your wife is doing the announcing and you're doing
That's
that.
right. That's right.
And
Yes.
yeah. So if you were a floater at Free Times, David might say to you, can you come in for 10, can you come
Yeah.
over for 10 minutes and give me a break, right?
Yeah.
So he'd be your first priority. And maybe I might text you, but you would say, well, I'm just filling in for David now for 10 minutes. I can help you. And you know what I mean? So your first priority is the place where you are. Does that make sense, Lindsay? Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. I would just
Yeah.
say like, definitely like myself, Joanne, and the floaters are going to be sharing direction throughout the course of the weekend. So, but if you're receiving conflicting information, sometimes wires get crossed and we can figure that out on a case by case basis. But I think like the floaters will have information from either Joanne or myself or one of the other
Or
festival-
Jana, who's helping
or
out
Jana,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, Jana. She's the other volunteer coordinator. Yes.
And I
So
think
if we-
oh, sorry, Lisa.
Sorry, if we need support, we text you primarily, Lindsay, or should we, as the clearinghouse for floater
I-
assist? I mean, that's my question is, if somebody needs something, what number should they be texting you or
I
texting?
think
When
maybe
I'm-
me first. I think me first, and I can decide whether it's something
Ah.
Lindsay has to handle, because Lindsay's going to
Sure.
be doing more of the money in the doors, and there might be some
Right.
other issue that I can
Okay.
handle or Jana can handle.
Great. So are you, Joanne, going to give us and Jana your cell phone numbers so that we can text you if we need something?
Yes, I already put mine in the chat.
Okay. Oh,
And
I don't- some
but you
reason
know
I
what?
don't-
We're gonna send you a Lindsay, when you make up your list that you're gonna make up, send it to me first and I'll add the other contact information. We'll have one document.
Perfect. And
Great.
Okay.
did not send
Hello?
your number in the chat. It's not
Oh, I
there.
didn't? Oh, I started to. Okay.
We're
Great.
not going crazy.
Hello.
Hit Enter.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have chat.
it's,
We
I
can
think
make
I
it,
sent it to
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
room people. There was none. So Joanne
There.
is.
so just to reiterate, Joanne will be the central point of contact and we'll put
I'm
that.
losing contact, folks.
Oh, you had to leave, Edward?
Well, no, but I'm losing contact. It's getting all blurry.
Yeah.
I think you might have an
I can't
internet.
hear anything.
You have to put another dollar in the meter.
Good run, David.
Okay, so just to reiterate, I'll put an info sheet together. We'll make sure everybody has it. Joanne will be the central point of contact and she will filter out to us. But we can be backups, right? Like Jana and me, if you guys can't get a hold of Joanne, we'll be your bees. So we'll make that clear in the sheet and we'll make sure everyone has all the instructions so that you don't have to remember everything. And Joanne will record this session and send it to everybody.
You are talking in third person.
There's a voice from,
I'm
voice
in the
from
Zoom
Dion.
meeting.
thanks, Jana.
Any other questions?
Well, give me a few minutes here.
You can have a few minutes.
I'm good.
Oh, and Andrea, you and Mary are good for your shifts. I didn't have a confirmation. Did you look at the schedule?
I sent you a confirmation this afternoon. I'm good. I'm not sure Mary is. I think she's had something come up and she might not be able to make it. Did she not message you?
Well, there may be some messages that came in after I was tutoring for the last few hours. Aren't I fresh as a daisy after tutoring? You should see the mess on my table.
I'll follow up with her and see if she is able to make it or not.
If
And,
you
and
could,
ask her to
yeah.
get back to you. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't checked the emails for a little while, for the last couple of hours, so, yeah, and on that note, we do have a few gaps, on the schedule, so if anybody
If
has
I
any.
may, my friend Rachel is happy to chaperone me at the doors Saturday night.
Oh, good, okay,
You wanna
because
move
yeah,
Someone, she can chaperone me Saturday night.
okay, that's good. I also need somebody on Sunday night to be with me in the headquarters. Right now it's only me in the headquarters on Sunday night. I probably don't need 3 people that night, but if I can get one other person to be with me in the Wanda's.
I can help when I'm not running around
Yeah.
the doors. I can be there for sure.
Yeah, there's some lemon meringue pie in it for you.
So old. You should have led with that.
And the coffee's good there too.
How late is that, Jenna? Sunday?
How late I'm staying?
Yes, on Sunday.
Until 6.
Yeah,
or
Jana's
so.
only staying till 6. She's Jana and her son live in Kitchener, so she's coming in for the weekend. And Robbie has to
I'm
be at
gonna
school.
sign out because I'm not hearing anything.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
oh, okay, thank you, Edward.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. We'll send you stuff.
Bye.
Okay.
Aw, that's so frustrating when the audio doesn't work and you're on a Zoom call.
Yeah, it is frustrating. And somebody else signed out too.
Okay, so just to confirm, I can have a chaperone for Saturday night. No problem.
Okay, all right.
You
You've
just
got
let me know what
Saturday.
time you want them to start.
Yeah, Jana and I and Robbie will figure that out, how we're gonna do that transition. Oh, somebody's in the waiting room. Somebody went out, now they got, oh, I see, that's right. Doreen went out and she's coming back in. She's back in. There she is. That's a great headshot she's got there. There she is. I knew somebody was missing.
Sorry, I'm having internet issues and I couldn't get my mute off earlier.
I think it's the wind tonight. I think it's quite windy out there.
It is.
That could be it. Does anybody else have any general questions or fears, concerns?
Do we need to bring anything like, and this may, like, a clipboard, anything like that?
You'll have clipboards. We'll have clipboards for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. Joyce, have you done the door before?
Oh, yes, quite a few times. So,
Oh, do you have any tips for newbies?
well, depending, I don't know. I know some of the venues in Kensington, but not all of them. But be prepared to bring something warm to wear because you're usually near the draft. Other than that, everybody dresses fairly casual. I like to wear a t-shirt from a local artist, so I'll probably do that for my t-shirt. And everybody's usually pretty good at the door. You get quite a few questions, We'll also get questions from the musicians depending upon who's there for setup and that type of stuff. So the float will work itself out. And the floaters are pretty good about coming in and just checking with us on a regular basis. So, or they have been.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, my only concern about doors might be St. Stephen's, the church. You know, because of the neighborhood, that might, yeah, it might be.
Well, the whole neighborhood of Kensington, but there's going to be crowds of people, so it shouldn't be an issue, but there have been problems down there.
Yeah. So we do need to be careful with money and make sure it's tucked away, the cash box and all that.
That's right. You can't leave the cash box ever.
Yeah.
Good point. Like if you get up from the table, bring it with you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, cash boxes can walk away. That's for sure. Yeah, but I wouldn't worry too much about people with their phones and their tickets. Like people are used to this now. When I've gone to events, they just pull it up on their phone. They're just like, people like the convenience of that, and certainly it's no big deal for them to go on right away there onto the site and order their wristband. You know,
yeah,
they can be in the door within 2 minutes. After, you know, using their credit card.
Yeah.
Are the artists going to be allowed to display merchandise and or CDs where they're playing, or will that be at Wanda's Pie or both?
My understanding is that we're not doing that this year.
Oh, we're not doing it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what, am I right, Lindsay? That's what my understanding was.
So yeah, there's no merch being sold or CDs this year.
Okay. But are artists allowed to bring in their own? For their own show?
No.
No, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I-
You're saying like if they want to sell it at their stage while they're sure, why not? That's
Yeah, I mean, artists do that sometimes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, so much of it's done online now too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very diverse this year. Has anybody looked at the schedule of the artists?
Yeah.
It's much more diverse than in the past.
I agree.
Yeah, which I think is really exciting. And apparently I don't know, Lindsay, do you know if the ads have started on Jazz FM yet?
I think they start this week. So I think it was just confirmed yesterday. So I think they'll start this weekend.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. So we have advertising on Jazz FM. And everybody, please, a lot of you are on Facebook or Instagram. If you haven't already, make friends with me and join our insider group on Facebook, but just look it up on Instagram and Facebook and just start sharing, because every day different artists are promoted. And it's good. I mean, to show that variety. Lots and lots of great young artists that have recently won awards and things like that. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. Any last questions, guys? I do have to hop off. Any last questions from the group?
This has been very valuable. Thank you very much.
Yeah, very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Nice way to do it.
Thank you. Well, you know, we couldn't get together. There wasn't any way we could physically get everyone together. And who's coming next Thursday night for the meet and greet?
Yeah,
I am.
we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Carol, yeah,
Very
okay.
nice idea. Very nice idea.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we get food or drinks or anything there on Thursday
Yeah,
night?
so I think Brian purchased like 75. There's going to be like a ton of drink tickets. So I think the person will at least get one, if not two. So have a drinky poo on Winterfolk. Yeah.
Good. That's good. Yeah. So will you be there Thursday night, Lindsay?
I cannot. I have a friend's birthday on Thursday.
Oh,
but
yes, that's right. That's
all
okay.
weekend.
Okay, well, I'll be there. I'll be there early, and Jana will be there early too, right? We agree.
Yeah, I can be there
You'll
anytime.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get your wristbands on Thursday night. So the only things that you'll need to get on before your shift will be your cash box and your flyers, like your quick kit. And Lindsay, when you go to the doors, will you take everybody with you and just drop them off one by one?
Yeah.
At their various stores? Okay.
Yeah, and so like I'll obviously have a buddy working with me. So whether that's Rachel or I'm sorry, what was your son's name again, Jana?
Robbie, he had to go
Robbie.
do homework now, so.
Perfect. So whether it's Robbie or Rachel, like we can split it so we can do 2 at a time when we're starting up the day.
That's good. And the venues are very close. I walked
Yeah.
around to all of them on last week. So they are like, there's
Good.
7 venues, but 2 are together in St. Stephen's, 2 are together in Taco Taco, Supermarket's right across the street, Trinity Commons right beside that. So nothing is more than a few minutes. Nothing is more than a few minutes away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
One
only
thing
problem, yeah, parking
One
is the
thing-
only issue. Yeah.
I was going to mention one thing that I forgot. Sometimes people arrive early for the festival. I don't know what to anticipate this year, but say, you know, we get to our post at, say the first show's at 1 o'clock, you guys show up at 12:30, we arrive at your post, we set up, there's already people inside there for the festival. We're going to have to make the effort to kind of go around, check wristbands, and just make sure everybody who's inside has paid if they're not there for the establishment and a meal and not for the festival. So I can help coach on